Howdy. My name is, Nonat. And yesterday, Paizo, for the third time in a month, has dropped a bucket of new information and content onto us. So today I'm going to be sort of compressing their hour and some odd minute long stream into about 10 to 15 minutes of digestible basics of what is coming to Pathfinder 2e in the near future. Before we get started, if you like what I do, please consider subscribing and hit the like button, perhaps even ring the bell to turn on notifications. It helps a ton and keeps YouTube happy. Okay, I don't think they're around today. So the first big announcement was that coming mid-2021, I believe in June, we are getting Lost Omen's Muwangi Expanse. This is going to be an over 300-page book covering the Muwangi Expanse, which we've actually seen a lot of in recent adventures, such as The Slithering. It's going to be diving into the people and the culture of modern Muwangi, as well as the history of the Muwangi Expanse that led up to where it is today. It was heavily hinted that we might be getting new heritages for existing ancestries, such as elves and dwarves who exist in the Muwangi Expanse and thus have their own natural abilities and heritage bonuses. On top of this, they have confirmed that we are getting 6 new ancestries on top of all the choices we already have. They announced 3 of them in the stream, and we have confirmed that we are getting gnolls as a playable race. Always cool. I think everyone was ready for it eventually, just finally got confirmed. And 2 that I've actually never seen before, but I believe did exist in 1st edition. The first is the Gripply, which are just a sentient humanoid frog people, which are absolutely awesome, and I cannot wait to make one or use them as enemies. I'm super hyped for this. And the other one, which I had personally never heard of before in my life, are the Anati, which are a peace-loving spider people, hyper-intelligent, lore masters, and I'm really, really hyped. I love their design. They're so freaking cool. So those 3 ancestries have been completely confirmed by Paizo, and there are 3 more that we do not know about. All of this new gameplay content is also being balanced out by heavy lore content on the Muwangi Expanse. Like I said, we'll be learning about the people and the culture. We're also going to be getting a lot of more detailed information on the various cities of the Muwangi Expanse, such as Kibwe, which was featured in The Slithering. And all of this has really been crafted through mixing and matching all different aspects of specifically African culture. And they made it a point to mention that they didn't just pick one African country and say, that's the culture we're using, let's go with that. No, they took bits and pieces from culture all over real-world Africa and carefully created this completely unique culture in the Muwangi Expanse that I am super excited to check out. 1 month after that, in July, they are beginning their next adventure path, which is the Strength of Thousands. I won't be touching on this part too much because, as a lover of surprises, I don't want to spoil anything about the adventure path for people who might want to enjoy it with no knowledge. So I will simply be giving the premise. They went into the basic premise of all 5 books of the adventure path. I'm just going to be talking about the basic premise, which is the players are all level 1 students in the Magambia Magic School. And throughout the course of the campaign, from level 1 to 20, you attend this school. And it might sound a little exclusive at first, in that, oh, how can you make a fighter or a rogue in a magic school? Well, the adventure path will be allowing all characters to take a free spellcasting archetype dedication. So if you're a martial class, you start with some basic spellcasting. And if you're a spellcaster, you get additional spellcasting benefits. So if you're a wizard, you might be able to take the cleric dedication and get some cleric cantrips and maybe expand on that in your character. Really cool ideas. Like I said, there's a lot more info about this. I'm sure you can find it online, but I'm not going to say any more because I don't think people would want it spoiled. Now, all of that is happening next year, June, July, but what I'm about to talk about is going to be happening this year, within the next 3 months. First off, they are finally releasing a Pathfinder 2e Beginner's Box. And from my list here, this comes with a lot of cool stuff. It comes with beginner character sheets, a simplified rule set, and iconic pre-gen characters, as well as Pathfinder pawns, paper cutout minis, 50 unique monsters to use. Just a lot of stuff for a solid investment. I think it's about $40. And in the stream, they made sure to stress that this is not Pathfinder dumbed down. It is simply a truncated rule set. So they cut out some things to make it a little more approachable without changing the rules in any way. For example, rather than all 12 classes being available, in the basic rules they give you, there are only 4 player classes to choose from. So you can almost think of this like a demo. You invest a little bit, granted for $40, it is a good deal. You do get a rule set, a GM guide, an adventure, a bunch of monsters, and little paper minis. Really good deal for $40. But I feel like if you are looking to just get into Pathfinder 2e straight up, I would just go ahead and spend the $60 on the player's handbook. But if you just want to test it out with some friends, this is going to be a great way to do it. And I think that's coming out late November. From what I've heard, the adventure in the beginner's box takes place in Otari, right near Absalom. And this is actually, I believe, a continuation of the adventure from the playtest. It's either a continuation or a rewrite of the first ever 2e adventure from the playtest last year. And on top of that, sometime either this year or next year, this one I don't have the date for, Troubles in Otari is going to be a 3-book long adventure path that is going to continue from where the beginner's adventure left off. So if you get into Pathfinder 2e and you finish that beginner's adventure, you can jump right into the 3-book adventure path, Troubles in Otari, to continue the story from where you left off. Speaking of 3-book adventure paths, there is another one coming out that I'm personally incredibly excited for. The Abomination Vaults is a massive 3-book dungeon crawl. It takes players from level 1 to level 10, and it is what it is, it's 3 full adventure-sized books of 1 mega dungeon, and I am so excited for that. I am a sucker for a mega dungeon. One thing I really hope they do, and I'm praying Paizo does this, I hope when they release Abomination Vaults, it would be a lot of work. It might even need to be its own extra book. I would love it if Abomination Vaults had 2 difficulty levels. One for levels 1 to 10, and one for levels 11 to 20. I think that would be a ton of fun. I don't know how hard that would be to balance. It would probably be incredibly difficult, as even the level 1 encounters would need to be replaced with level 11 encounters. But I think it would be cool to have the option. If your party really wants a high-power, high-octane adventure, you could play the 11 through 20 version of Abomination Vaults rather than the 1 through 10, whereas 1 through 10 might be really good for making new characters or something. I don't know, I kind of like the idea of 2 difficulty numbers, or even, this is getting very video gamey, but imagine a New Game Plus where you play through Abomination Vaults, and then with those same characters, you go back to the beginning and play through 11 to 20, like a New Game Plus. Maybe get to do some new things differently. It's hard, because a New Game Plus does not translate as well from video games to RPGs, but I think some groups could get some fun out of it. So while having an 11 to 20 would also just be a second option of the way to play the adventure, I guarantee there would be some groups out there that would want to play through it once, and then play through it again at the higher difficulty. I think that would be a ton of fun. And that is everything confirmed that we're getting for Pathfinder 2e in the next year or so. I'm incredibly hyped. Any chance to get a new adventure path, and especially some new Ancestries, is incredible. But what are you hyped for? What of the 6 potential Ancestries do you want to play? Do you want to play a Gripply, the Anati, the Knolls? What other 3 are you really praying they bring forward? Anything from Pathfinder 1e you think would be really cool to bring over? Let me know. Are you excited for the Abomination Vaults, for the Strength of Thousands, maybe even just the beginner box to get your friends into the system? Let me know about everything you're excited from these announcements down in the comments. There is so much here to be hyped about, and just like 2020, I think 2021 is going to be a great year for Pathfinder. Paizo is really cranking out their A-game, and people are taking notice. So thank you all so very much for watching. Remember, if you like the video, to like and subscribe, and leave a comment about what you're excited about. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and until next time, no nat ones. That's on the thing. I could just leave this here. Oh man. If you want one of these, they are for sale on my Teespring. I'll leave a link in the description. You can get these as well as a bunch of different merch designs. They're awesome. Alright, have a great day.